Hello everyone, welcome to this brand new chapter of biology which is reproduction in plants. Now before I start with the chapter, I want to tell you one thing. This chapter is the easiest chapter in the textbook. There may be no other chapter as easy as this chapter. Now let us start with the chapter. Why is reproduction important? Reproduction is important for the survival of a species, and all species are important on this earth. Now let us understand what does exactly reproduction mean. Reproduction is the process in which one living organism gives rise to or produces another young ones of its own kinds. Now let us understand this. One living organism produces other living organism of its own kind. Now why is this important? We know that for the survival of species, and all species are important on this earth. So one living organism, the living example for living organism are human beings, animals, plants, bacteria, amoeba. These living organisms give rise to other young ones of their own kinds. Own kinds is very important here. Why? Because an animal cannot give rise to a plant, or a plant cannot give rise to bacteria or amoeba or something like that. So henceforth a plant can give rise only to a plant, and an animal can give rise only to an animal. Now when we have learned about reproduction, let us know about the types of reproduction. There are mainly two types of reproduction: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Now the first point in asexual reproduction is that in asexual reproduction there are no reproductive organs involved, whereas in sexual reproduction there are male and female reproductive organs there. Now in asexual reproduction, the second point is that there are no sex cells or gametes, whereas in the sexual reproduction there are sex cells or gametes present. Now in asexual reproduction it is uniparental. Only one parent gives rise to another young one, whereas in the sexual reproduction male and female gametes are fused to form the zygote. So therefore male and female both parents are needed, so it is biparental. Now in asexual reproduction the process is very fast, it's very rapid, whereas in sexual reproduction it is very slow and takes time. Asexual reproduction gives large number of young ones, whereas the sexual reproduction gives only less number of young ones. Now let us learn about the asexual reproduction types and sexual reproduction types in detail. Now let's learn about them in detail. First method is binary fission. In bi means two and fission means splitting. As we know, you must have understood about this by the name itself. Now a cell or an a cell is there in which the one nucleus is there. First what happens is that the nucleus elongates. Then the cell and the cytoplasm in it all elongates, and then the nucleus first splits into two, and when the nucleus splits into two, then the cell splits into two. In this way one cell gives rise to two cells. I hope you must have understood binary fission. You can see on the screen how binary fission takes place. Now let us know about budding. Now in budding what happens is that a cell produces an outgrowth to itself, and that outgrowth is called as a bud. Now when the bud becomes big and it is capable for individual existence, that time the bud splits itself, or sometimes it does not split, but on itself it gets another bud, and like that they form a chain. Or what happens is the bud splits and the bud is now an individual cell. We can see how budding takes place on the screen. Now let's go to fragmentation. Now a very good example for fragmentation is Spirogyra. What happens is that a long ribbon like structure is there and it splits. Now when it splits, the splitted parts which are there are capable for individual existence. So one fragment or one ribbon-like structure, when it splits into how many parts, that many parts of that many cells are produced in this process. Now let us understand about the next type of asexual reproduction, which is spore formation. Now let us learn about spore formation. Now what happens is that the plant produces spores on the underside of the leaf. These spores are very light and are easy to be carried out by the wind. And when wind takes it to a place where it is where there are suitable conditions for the plant to grow, there the spores germinate and a new plants come in. We can see spores on the screen right now. Now the fourth method is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is when a plant produces a young one of its own kind by vegetative parts of it like root, stem and leaves. The plant produced by vegetative propagation is called as propagule. Now when we have learned types of asexual reproduction, we end with this module. In the next module, we will be learning about vegetative propagation in detail. Thank you.